Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Podcast with an Accent. I'm your host, Vadim Gulyuk, and today I have a pleasure of having with me DeDee Cai, founder and CEO of Fit Profit. DeDee, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
It is a pleasure. DeDee, what's your accent?
Well, when I first got the questionnaire or suggested points of talking about my story, I was like, well, where is my accent from? First, when I first started learning English, it was British English. But then, what I realized the prompted questions was what my accent is really means, what am I about? So that got me to really thinking about all my whole life and what I'm up to now and where I see myself in the future is I'm one of the people that really believe in me taking responsibility for my life 100% of the time. That means I own everything that I have up until this point of my life. And if I have anything, it would be because of me and my work, taking full responsibility on everything to really determine my own destiny. So that's my accent, taking 100% responsibility for myself in my life.
Amazing. Amazing. Wow. DeDee, what's your story?
What's my story? So, as I was sharing how English is my second language because I am a first generation immigrant. I am Vietnamese. So when I first moved to the States, I was taught to live the American dream of doing the right things. And I'm sure some of the similar things you might have heard before is just to go to school, get a great education, get a great job, and that's happiness. And I did all of that. I did all and everything that I was told. And what I found was it wasn't working for me. So to really backtrack and create a short version of my story is I went to college, got a good job, really was working really well for me. I had time to hang out with friends. I was traveling, but I was really feeling empty most of the time. What I realized was that I was actually doing everything that everyone wanted me to do to be successful, but it wasn't my own definition of success. And I always knew that I want to be successful, but at the same time that I want to also make an impact while I am doing the work or supporting myself. And so long story short, I really took a step back and also to take the time out for myself as I was really trying to figure things out. And, being sad and depressed and unfulfilled and all of that stuff got me to really adopt a mindful way of living. I started practicing yoga, exercising, really taking care of myself. And what I realized is I needed to define my own definition of success. And the minute I did that, I automatically was, my will to live was completely revived. Not only that, I have a incident in my life that really got me my purpose was during the week of my wedding, my best friend took her own life. So going back to me having to fulfill everyone else's expectations and being unfulfilled and unhappy to the point where I didn't want to have anything to do with anyone else, or I just didn't want to carry on. And then here's my girlfriend who was doing the same thing, and she decided this was her destiny. So my purpose came about because I didn't want anyone to have to suffer through the loss that I had to go through what I had to go through. So I just made a vow to myself that I wanted to teach people how to cope with life and really remember that they have the power, just as my accent says, you have 100% responsibility for your life and that you can do whatever it is that you want and that no one is going to dictate your next step unless you can decide that. And so that was really my story, just because I was told what I needed to do, did all of that, didn't work out, figure out my own way, paved my own way, and started my own business about 3 years ago, really wanting to help people make a difference in their life, transform their lives, and also create an impact while you're doing that. So hence Fit to Profit was created on the premise of freedom to really self-express, freedom to live the life that is happy and full of fulfillment, and also while creating impact to other people. So really, that's my story, and my vision for the future of Fit to Profit and for myself is that everyone is going to have access to live mentorship and coaching, as if everyone now has a gym membership. Is that everyone deserves someone to really invest in them and really believe in what they're capable of. And I'm all about investing in the human potential. So that's my story.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
What are you inspired by?
Oh my goodness. As it's probably clear already, I'm inspired by creating impact. I'm inspired by, making, a difference, in the world. Like whether it's big or small, it's just making that difference and making your time, every minute of your life worthwhile.
Amazing. Does your life, DeDee, in the present, it looks like what you envision it to be in your early 20s?
Yes, absolutely. I was just thinking about this question, and I was preparing for it, and made me realize that just most recently, I go back to my journal entries very often just to kind of track to see where I have been and if I'm really achieving my goals. And what I realized was that what I put down about over 10 years ago is exactly my life that I'm living now. So I think it's pretty incredible. I think being able to envision and seeing what you want in the future and then putting in the work and taking the action really can change your life and get you what you want. So for all those that's listening, if you want whatever you want, write it down, create an action plan, do it, and you will achieve it. I'm like totally, ultimately living the lifestyle that I ever wanted. I work when I want to work. Today's Friday, it's 1:30 in the afternoon, and I'm on a podcast as the last thing for the day. I get to hang out with my family and my friends when I want to, take vacation when I want to, creating true freedom for what it is that I want to do with my life. So yes, as I am reflecting on this, I'm really living my lifestyle, and I'm so grateful for it. So yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. What would you tell your younger self?
Oh my gosh. Oh, I would tell her to ask questions. Like for the longest time, I always thought that, I can figure it out. Ask questions, seek for help, ask questions, ask for help. Because the moment I decided to do that in my life, I realized that I was not alone and how I could get the results so much faster by doing that. And I just want to remind everybody that the worst thing you could do is not ask for help. So ask questions, seek for help, and you are not alone.
Totally. Totally. What's the best story from your life that has a valuable message?
I was struggling with this one. Oh, wow. I was like deciding between a couple, but I really have to put my finger on it. And if I can only share the one thing, it's almost similar to what I share in terms of the what advice I would give my younger self is that don't wait for permission. Like, do not ask for permission. Everything I did to take charge of my destiny in my life has been because I wanted to versus someone else needing to give me the approval. And when you're going into a project or task or whatever it is in your life, and you're the one that is making that decision, then you can truly own it. And one of the really funny stories is that I only recall the one time where I remember asking for permission was when I was actually 15. And in the States, to be able to start working, you have to be approved by your parents. And so I had to get my parents to sign me a working permit to start working at 15. And I remember that was like the last thing that I asked for in terms of asking permission. But since then, I don't remember asking permission for anything because since then I really have paved my way. So don't wait. You don't have to wait for permission. You don't have to wait for approval to really take charge.
Amazing. You're living your best story in life.
Well, it's, there's always different levels of it, but yes. I mean, no one is going to know better than you do of what you need to do next. So oftentimes it's really trusting your instincts and that take whatever the opportunity as is, and you can always learn from it. I know I did. Every failure was a failure then, but it's feedback now. If I didn't do what I had done in the past, I wouldn't be where I am. So don't wait for permission. Do it. Do it now.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
DeDee, what's your favorite book that you read and why?
So, have you heard of The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks? So basically he is a psychologist by trade, and he studied a lot about motivational psychology and all of those things. And he actually was his own case of having the greatest growing up environment, but he overcome all of the adversities, and he had studied and to become a PhD, and long story short, was teaching at one of the prestigious colleges in California. But the book has everything, and if I recall any of it, 2 points are super important to me. One is to always think about how you are upper limiting yourself. And the concept being is that there's always the next level of growth, the next level of success, or the next level of happiness. Know when you're stalling out is because you are hitting that upper limit. And being able to practice in that space and keep increasing your standard of whatever it is that you want by focusing on how are you upper limiting yourself from the next level of growth. That's one concept in the book. And he has also this mantra that he uses every day. He wrote and he said that that's what he would say to himself every single day. And it's the same mantra that I use when I get lost or overwhelmed. It's incredible and crazy, but last night there were moments where I was waking up at night, but then to put myself back asleep, I would say these words. And the mantra is, I expand in abundance, love, and success every day, that I inspire others to do the same. And this was the author's mantra, and is also now mine because I have adopted it. This really gets me really clear on certain things that I don't want to do or I want to do, because it's almost like that question is like, okay, are you expanding in abundance? Are you expanding in success, or are you expanding in love every day? So yeah, that's the book.
Sweet. Sweet. Besides the mantra, do you have a favorite quote?
So yes. This one always comes to mind for me, is to be the change you want to see in the world.
Amazing.
You know who's by?
Tell me.
Gandhi. Yeah. Be the change you want to see in the world. It starts with you.
Totally. Totally. DeDee, what turns you on?
You know what? People who are thriving in adversities, because there's nothing more inspiring to me than hearing about the most physically challenged person, maybe like finishing up her marathon, a deaf person going to take a PhD program, things like that makes me feel like if I am capable, if I'm sitting here speaking to you, if I have my breath, I have no reason why I shouldn't succeed. And it's the same reminder that I want to share. And also that's what I tell my clients all the time, was that we all have what we need. It's just we're not able to see it for ourselves. So it is really, truly, you have to take that opportunity. So the adversities that you're going through, the circumstances that you're going through are meant to be there so that you can overcome them and then meet your success on the other side. So I get like chills going up my back, or really excited and so inspired every time I hear stories how people overcome challenges all through the adversities and is thriving. Yeah, that's what turns me on.
Amazing. Amazing. DeDee, what's the best way for people to find you online?
So my website information is www.fittofprofit.com. So it's FITTOPROFIT.com. And you can also find me on Facebook. It's just DeDee Cai. It's very simple, DeDee. Last name is Cai. I also have a Facebook business page as well, which is Fit to Profit LLC. And I'm also on LinkedIn. So I would love to connect with you. Any of you guys are out there listening in, definitely if you have any questions, I would love any comments and feedback of how I can contribute within your community, however that I can reach and share my story to make a difference. Together we can make a difference. So please reach out.
Amazing. Thank you for your time, DeDee.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. It was such an honor to be able to share my story. And if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here sharing my story to make the impact I need to make. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in the next episode.
Yes. Thank you, guys.